Hello, welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to show you my brand new Mason Bokeh 3. I'm here in Gran Canaria. I've been in La Palma for a few days before this doing the gravel ground event. There'll be another video on that in a couple of days. So yeah, let's show you the new bike. So the Mason Bokeh is Mason's gravel bike, or adventure sport bike as Don Mason likes to call it. This is the third version. I've been lucky enough to ride V1 and V2. This is actually replacing my V1 version, which I first got at the end of 2016. So it's had a good innings, and yeah, the V3 has a few sort of changes. They're more tweaks. The DNA is pretty much the same. The geometry is exactly the same, but there's a few little changes, just improving it, bringing it up alongside sort of developing standards. So yeah, this is the bike I've been riding in the Canaries. So as with the vast majority of Mason frames, the tubing is Diadachi, and it's handmade, hand welded and hand painted in Italy at various little artisan workshops. And the main difference on this one, well, they're mainly tweaks, to be honest. So the first thing is there's slightly different stays on the V3. So they're now kind of one-piece things and just a little bit neater. The other thing is on the larger frames, they've now a 31.6 seat tube. So this allows, I think, for a bit of a sort of a stiffer weld around the bottom bracket, and also for a bit more space. You can now fit a 50mm tyre. These are 45s, but it will squeeze a 50 in there. You also now get top tube mounting bolts. That's a standard on the Bokeh. So if you've got a top tube pack, you can just bolt it in place rather than having to use straps. The other new thing is the head tube. This is slightly more refined, a bit more kind of shaped, and matches the new fork quite nicely. So this fork is the Mason Rangefinder AS fork, and basically the main changes are, if you look at it compared to the old ones, it's a lot more shaped on the front, and I actually think it's a really nice looking sort of front end combined with the bike. There's dynamo routing internal, so you can have a dynamo cable without it showing everywhere, and there's also 4 bottle mounts on here, as well as mudguard mounts inside the back here. Now, my original V1 Mason Bokeh was this flare orange, so I've stuck with it for this one. I kind of like it, it stands out. I've actually still got my V2. I'll use that for cyclocross. That's in the green colour. Maybe I'll do a video on that in a few weeks once the cyclocross season gets underway. But yeah, this is my go-to bike. I've been riding it on the road here in Gran Canaria, and on gravel and off-road in La Palma. So yeah, the spec is built for kind of gravel riding and general around riding. Now, although the frame is new, most of the components have just transferred it from my original bike. It had an upgrade a few years back. It's the GRX Di2 11-speed, still working absolutely fine. So I don't really see the point in changing it. So 2x chain set. I kind of like this for this style of riding. So I ride it on the road a bit. Sometimes I put slick tyres on it, works really well. And then for the more off-road stuff, you've got the smaller gears, so you can get up really steep stuff, and there's plenty of steep climbs here in the Canaries. So yeah, GRX 11-speed 2x. I've upgraded the bearings, as with pretty much all my bikes, to enduro bearings. So I've got an XD15 bottom bracket, XD15 jockey wheels, and I've got XD15 bearings inside the wheels as well, which brings me nicely onto the wheel set. Now, this is the Hunt Limitless Gravel Rim. This is the Limitless Gravel Adventure wheel set, similar to the Limitless Gravel Race wheel set. However, it's got a more of a 4-season hub, longer lasting, better sealed bearings, J-bend spokes, and 28 spoke instead of 24. The idea is you can use this wheel set for bike packing adventures, and they're just going to last a little bit longer in sort of rougher conditions and in harder use cases. So that's those wheels, and they work great. And I've also got the Hutchinson Touareg tyres on there. Now, these are a bit of an all-round tyre, 45mm. I've had them on there all year, and they work pretty well. You may notice the front one is on back to front. I would like to say that that's because it's gives better traction braking, but it's actually because I fitted it incorrectly and I can't be bothered to swap it. So there we go. I'm also running Tailfin's wedge frame bag. This is kind of the half frame bag shape. I think this is the largest size of this particular shape. In there, I've just got my insulated Albion jacket, a rain jacket, gloves, arm warmers, just the kind of thing when you're on these islands, because once you're up high it can be quite cold. It's 25 degrees down here, but up at 2,000 meters it's 12 degrees, and you know, you can descend for an hour, so you need to be able to wrap up. So that's what I've got in there. I have also got a rear light on there. There's a couple of dark tunnels and stuff, so you just need a light just to be seen. Also, if you do get caught out at night, it's better to have it on there. This is a Magishine rear light. I've been trying it out. It's kind of okay. It looks quite nice. It fits really well. Not too obtrusive. Although I found it cut out a bit in the wet, so jury's still out on that. But for now, it's kind of okay. And then the saddle, the Ergon all-road core. I've got this on most of my bikes, find it really comfy. So yeah, sticking with that on this new Bokeh. And finally onto the Cockpit. Now these are Ritchie Venture Max bars. I've been running these for a long time with a Ritchie stem. I've got the Di2 junction box underneath here. I don't like it integrated on this bike because I travel with it a lot, so taking the bars on and off, putting it in bike bags, it's easy just to have the junction box accessible so you can unplug everything and avoid damage. I've got my Wahoo Roam GPS on there. Again, that's a V1, but does the job. And yeah, what else? I've got the stem on there, just another Ritchie stem. I've been primarily on a lot, well, there's been a fair bit of road on this trip. However, if I was doing a rougher off-road sort of race or bikepacking trip, I'd probably put a Redshift suspension stem on there. I've run it on a couple of my other bikes, as you'll probably know if you've seen my bike checks. So yeah, keep a lookout. If I do like a bikepacking trip on this, I might do another video and just sort of show you the changes I'd make. So there we have it. That is my brand new Mason Bokeh V3. The Bokeh is one of my favourite all-time bikes, so really happy to have the latest version of it. It's been a great few weeks here in the Canary Islands. I've got a video coming out on the gravel ground event in La Palma in a few days, so keep an eye out for that and see you in the next one.